Here we have the Dynabook C50-J. What is Dynabook, you ask? Who the hell has ever heard of Dynabook? Well, there's actually kind of a long peppered history about how Toshiba shifted from Toshiba over to Dynabook, but suffice to say, Dynabook is carrying over the Satellite Pro laptop name. They're continuing with it. So, think of it just, it's new Toshiba. Let's just go ahead and not call it the Dynabook. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is, which is the Toshiba Satellite Pro C50-J. Anyway, what we want to find out today is if the new Toshiba Dynabook Satellite Pro C50-J is any good, and if you should buy one yourself. Let's get some specs out of the way here really fast. You can pick up one of these bad boys for around the $500 range. Basically, it's a sub $600 laptop. I have found this thing from anywhere between $519 to about $589 as configured. And as configured, this thing comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM, a 256 gigabyte solid state drive, NVMe, which is upgradable. And by the way, it has 2 RAM slots. I'll get to that later on. So that you can upgrade the RAM. And it comes with a 15.6-inch full high definition, non-touch, semi-HDR screen, and all that is packaged together with the i5 11th generation processor. So, as far as bang for your buck is concerned, it's actually not terrible. I am finding that if you go with sub $600 laptops these days, you're typically going to be sitting in the Ideapad 3 series, the Inspiron 3000 series, or somewhere like in the Acer Aspire 5s. Now, I'm a pretty big fan of the Acer Aspires. I find them to be sort of feature-rich and just all around really, really nice. But when we kind of compare this thing to those other brands, I might be getting ahead of myself, but I guess ultimately the question would be like, should you get this or the Dell or the Lenovo or anything? So as far as kind of bang for your buck, I think this is good specs for the money, and thus we're gonna go ahead and rate it a 7 out of 10. But moving on to the nitty gritty, which will help us compare these things. LCD screen, again, 15.6-inch, full high definition, non-touch display, but the colors are crisp. It's bright enough to use under like a bright sun or in like a window or something like that. It is a matte display, and it probably gets ballpark. I admit I did not test this particular screen on some of these lower end laptops. I just can't be bothered anymore. They're all kind of coming with around like 250 to 350 nit panels. So ballpark, just using my eye test, I'm thinking this thing probably has about a 300 nit panel, which is more than enough for most people. Viewing angles on it are superb. And it's just all around like, just a good, decent panel. Like it is better than the panel that you get in the Lenovo Ideapad 3, hands down. As a result, we're gonna go ahead and give this panel a 7 out of 10. Does it deserve maybe even like an 8 out of 10? I don't know, but it doesn't matter because we gave it a 7 out of 10. Moving along, trackpad on this thing. It's a honker. I mean, that is a huge ass trackpad. It is like the size of my hand. It is competing with the Apple trackpad. And I have to say that it is both precise, it doesn't ghost, it just feels good, it's big, it's luxurious, it is a fabulous trackpad. The only thing making it perfect is the actual physical click on it is a little bit, kind of like a little rough, maybe like a little cheapish feeling, but that said, trackpad gets a 9 out of 10. It is one of the best trackpads that you can get in a laptop as far as I'm concerned, and it beats the hell out of both the Dell and the Lenovo's trackpad and the Acer's trackpad. Where they fell short is the keyboard. It is not backlit. It does have a full size keyboard for the accountants in the room, and it has black keycaps, which I really, really like. And that's about where it stops. All in all, the shape of the keys and the feeling of the tactilityness is just like, and I'm making up words here, it just doesn't feel good to type on. I got something like 90 words per minute, which is pretty paltry for me. And it just, something about the keyboard just feels cheap and chintzy, and it's not very accurate. Like basically you will make a lot of typos if you are a typist or writing or a journalist or something like this. So we are gonna go ahead and rate this keyboard a 4 out of 10. It feels and looks like some of the cheaper keyboards that you get out of like EVU laptops or some of these like Walmart unbranded things. Like it's a parts bin keyboard and it's cheap. And because they're island keys and they're recessed into the frame, game. If the keyboard ever breaks, and rest assured it will, it is going to be an absolute bastard to repair. So yes, keyboard 4 out of 10. Speakers on this other thing, kind of like the keyboard. We're gonna go ahead and give these speakers a 3 out of 10. They have no highs. They have very high highs. They're very tinny. They have really no mids, and they've certainly got no bass to speak of. They don't even really get that loud. You know, I guess I could do an audio test so you could hear it over my microphone, which fine. If that's what you want, people, that's what we'll do. Let's see here. Should I cut this part out? Me navigating to the Crystal method. Maybe not. I'll keep it in. I don't know if you can hear that. It's at max volume. This is unprofessional. Gotta stop that right there. Stop it. Gotta stop that right there. Sound quality is abysmal. Some of the damn worst speakers I've ever heard, they are absolutely same speakers that you would get out of, again, one of these part spin laptops, just junk. Speakers, 3 out of 10. Features on this laptop. Now, it's a little bare bones-ish, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, after all, the less there is to break. But that said, this does come with 802.11, Wi-Fi 6, comes with gigabit Ethernet, so you've got all, you know, Bluetooth, it's got all the nice, like, modern wireless technologies and stuff in it. Has a 720p camera, which I feel like Christopher Nolan might be able to use on his next feature film. You can catch a glimpse of that footage now. This is the quality you can expect from the webcam on a Dynabook Satellite Pro. It's sharp and clean. Well, actually, it's noisy. I should say that. It's not clean. It's noisy, but it's sharp and it kind of looks decent, but it's very jittery, very low refresh rate. Disappointing. So yes, even though it's 720p and they claim that it has a 30 frames per second refresh rate, I can pretty much tell you that it is anything but that. The webcam on this thing is usable, but it's, you know, there are worse ones out there. It's got an HDR for streaming screen. There's no backlight on the keyboard, but it is full size. That's pretty much about it. It's about all it's got as far as features, so we're gonna go ahead and rate the features a 5 out of 10. I don't know, I mean, sub 600 bucks, what more do you want? It's a laptop and it does that at laptops. So, you know, quit complaining. Input and output on this thing. You've got a micro SD card reader. I couldn't put a full-size SD card reader in there. You've got a headphone jack, a USB super speed port, a talking gigabit Ethernet port, and then a Kensington lock, because everybody uses Kensington lock. USB-C port, another USB super speed. I do like that they gave you 2 USB super speed, you know, normal USB super speed ports, a HDMI port, and then of course where you plug it in. See, the thing is that the Dell Inspiron 3000 series doesn't even come with a USB-C port. And the Lenovo's USB-C port, I believe, is throttled and bottlenecked, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken that for the previous generation laptop. Point being, at least this one comes with USB-C and 2 super speed USB-A ports. I just think that was a very, very nice touch. As far as benchmarks are concerned, let's input and output on the damn thing, 7 out of 10. So how could it have done better? Maybe like an additional USB port, or maybe given a full-size SD card, something like that. It is some of the better I/O on a lower-end laptop. I'm really not going to deny that. Frankly, if anything, considering where this laptop falls in line with other brands, I kind of think that the I/O might even be an 8 out of 10, but it's written in stone, people. We can't change it now! You'll see the user benchmark here. You get a gaming of 16%, 81% desktop, workstation 14%. What does that mean in English? Get back to this nice fancy video. In English, what this means is that this thing is a productivity powerhouse. It'll multitask with the best of them. It'll knock out all of that stuff like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, multiple Firefox, Chrome tabs. You get the idea. This is just going to be awesome for somebody sitting in an office, with the exception of the bad keyboard. And Gaming, you'll be able to play things like Fortnite or Minecraft, but you're really not going to be able to do a whole lot more than that. It does have the Intel Xe built-in graphics, so it's capable of some casual gaming, but no AAA titles at probably any kind of meaningful settings whatsoever. Do not buy this laptop for gaming. If you buy the laptop and you want to do some gaming on it, you can, but it's not a gaming laptop. That seems to be a question I get from a lot of people is, can I game on this thing? Yes, you can, but it's not a gaming laptop. You need to be aware that you're going to you need to be aware of what you're buying. So, good benchmark score there as well. Mobility, which is the category we like to talk about as far as traveling and how it's made and stuff like that. The screen wobbles quite a bit. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Even if you look at it, the screen just sort of does that. That means the hinges on it and the frame are shite. That said, the plastics are very beefy and robust and thick. If anything, this computer's almost a little too heavy. It's got some girth to it. It's weighty. It's a weighty laptop. So mobility-wise, it's not gonna be great for traveling. You're not probably gonna wanna go into an airport or something like that with it, although you could, I suppose. But it will take a beating going from classroom to classroom, throwing it into a bag, this kind of thing. And battery life on it, you should expect to get somewhere between about 7 hours of use. In our tests doing practical things such as documents, internet surfing, and that sort of thing, we got, I think, like 7 hours and 24 minutes or something along those lines. So battery life on it is okay. Mobility is gonna get a 6 out of 10. We rate it that because the materials they're good material. They don't feel as cheap and chintzy as the Ideapad 3s, but the Dell feels better, the Acer feels better and lighter, and it's just kind of a little on the thicker side. Like, for example, they gave you the little like talking gigabit Ethernet port here, but actually the frame is so thick that I think you probably could have just had a full-size Ethernet jack in there. So anyway, yeah, that's what we have for mobility. Final thoughts on the Dynabook. Are we glad that Toshiba is back in the game? When I first started testing this laptop, I thought to myself, no, this is just kind of a cheap piece of junk. But then I really tried putting it into comparison with the ones it's competing against. And so long as you don't need stellar battery life and you don't mind the garbage speakers, in other words, you're just gonna be using headphones anyway, I think I would probably recommend this over the Ideapad 3. Probably not the Inspiron, other than the USB-C factor there. And it's kind of one of those things where if you can't get your hands on an Acer for whatever reason, then maybe go with this. I don't know, I really like the trackpad. I do kind of think they needed to work on the keyboard a little bit. You can get this, you can obviously get the Dynabook in a lot of flavors. It gets stronger, different specs, graphics cards, backlit keyboard features, you get the idea. It does get better if you spend more money. But if you're really comparing a $500, the gamut of the $500 laptops, you can do a whole lot worse than this Dynabook. You can do a whole lot worse from HP, do a whole lot worse from Lenovo. That said, I've also found some stuff from HP, I hate to admit this, that I liked. Anyway, you get the idea. Should you buy it? Yeah, I think if you buy it, you would in fact be happy with it. It is a quiet laptop too. That's another question we get a lot. Is it quiet? Does it make a lot of noise? The answer is no. This thing is whisper quiet. Actually, I haven't heard the fan ramp up once, even when we were running some video tests on it. So that is kind of a good thing. Yeah, go ahead and buy it. We do recommend it. Is it the best laptop in the world? Absolutely not, but it's sub 600 bucks. It sits in a price category that a lot of people need to be in these days, which is okay. And I think that if you own one, you would be very happy with it. It will get the job done. It will be a pleasant computing experience. Buy one, buy the Dynabook. Did I say it has 6 out of 10? That's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, it doesn't run on solar energy. That's the video for today, folks. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back with another video really soon. Hey everyone, there's actually a quick follow-up on this computer. There were a couple of things that I missed feature-wise on this machine that I felt like I was indebted to convey to you. So, number one, this does come with Toshiba's 1-year on-site warranty. That's pretty cool. So basically right out the gate, most companies you have to pay for that sort of service like Dell, but if you have a problem with this laptop, you don't have to send it out somewhere and pray that it comes back to you. No, Toshiba will send somebody to your house or office to fix the computer. We have used Dell's on-site warranty services before. They're very good, and Toshiba would probably do the same. Basically, they all kind of like partner with local businesses to get that done. So anyway, that is kind of a nice touch that you get that in a $500 package. You can't ask for more. The other thing, the USB-C port on this computer is capable of charging the laptop, and it's also, you know, full bandwidth where you can do displays, data transfers, and all that stuff on there too. That's a really, really nice touch. And then for those that are in a business environment, this does come with TPM 2.0. Not gonna bother getting into what trusted platform module is, but the point is that it has that. So if that is a concern to you, we have very few viewers that actually need that, but nevertheless, if that is something that you need, this laptop is equipped with it. It's kind of a nice little business touch. This is sort of like a poor man's ThinkPad. So it sounds crass. Anyway, but yeah, that is the Toshiba. Sorry about the follow-up video here, but there you go. If you have any questions, reach out to us in the comments section. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon.